Ladies and gentlemen, throughout my 13 years of running trading broadcasts, I've been trading for 21 years as of today, 21 and a half, more accurately. I have noticed that psychological toxicity could affect a number of traders. Sometimes things are not so easily scratched. In fact, the number one issue that we currently suffer from in the Newsbeat live room for the past year have been profitable traders who've been afraid to give it back or afraid to get to the next level, or profitable traders who give back a large portion of their days. To some people, that sounds a little obnoxious. Most people would love to have a really good day and then give back half of it, as opposed to having a really bad day. Both cause psychological toxicity, and to each person, it feels differently. I know the people who own Century 21. Century 21 here in New York went out of business. You could thank COVID for that. These people went from net worths of over 100 million down to maybe 10, maybe 20, maybe 30, but they lost a large portion of their money. It causes depression. Some people are unable to relate with that. They'll say if somebody has 10 or 20 or 30 million, that's amazing. That's incredible. I wish I had all those problems, you might say right now, as you're listening to me. But the fact remains, in trading, psychological toxicity affects winning and losing traders alike. That is why we do the Ask Mark here. That's why I'm the director of trading psychology here at T3. Most traders say that psychology is the number one issue when it comes in trading. If I asked you even right now, as you're watching this show, what percentage of trading do you feel is psychology? The vast majority of you would give me an answer between 70 and 100%. I do not personally believe it's 100%. There are other factors at play, but that would be the most common answer. So instead of flashing you P&L or what kind of underwear I'm wearing, I figured I would show you the real problems that people here in this room suffer from and how they try to help each other through success. It's something that we do todos los dias every single day here in the Newsbeat live room. We try to really help bring traders to the next level. That's why our trading room succeeds more than everyone else here. It's very simple. The more work someone like me puts in, the more we actually create a family environment, the higher chance you have to succeed. Sometimes you get an email from people who just don't understand what's even good for them. One trader even sent me an email last night asking me, that he's following somebody who makes X amount of money, and he was wondering how much money I made. He felt like that was actually an important factor in trading. And despite that I make far more money than the guru that he sent me's P&L, I stopped and I had to ask a question. Why did this trader think that that was an important question to ask? As if I'm actually piloting a fleet, I need to be the best at using the airplane per se. However, I want to refute that before I get into tonight's emails. I'll simply say, is the basketball coach the best player on the court? Is the baseball coach the best at hitting a home run? Is the soccer coach the best at handling a football or a soccer ball? And the answer, of course, is no. That's not the point. Gurus do have the ability to help people who are far better than him when it comes to a monetary basis. Despite that I make more than some sports players, I will say that no, I do not believe I am the best trader P&L wise in my room. When it comes to consistency, I make money pretty much every single day, every single week, in every single environment right now. That to me is a lot more impressive than the number, even if the number is in the 7-figure range, even if it's in the 8-figure range, which I promise you it isn't. But there are people around me who make far more money than me, yet are their voices heard? Are their voices heard? And I'm just going to go ahead and start going into the emails right now. But I just wanted to point that out to you. I just have to make the YouTube one public. For some reason, it didn't go public. I'm going to change that right now. Just give me one moment. But for some reason, people focus on all the wrong things. I've never met somebody who comes and tries to pay their bills by saying the guru I'm following is making $2.5 million. So I did want to highlight that to you. And it's why we have the highest retention rate here, and it's why we have the most success here, is because I do things the way I'm actually currently doing them. So I just really want to come out here to you guys. I do want to share some stories here, stories that happened not a week ago, not a month ago, but go through today's emails, go through the good, the bad, and the ugly. I am Mark Melnick, and welcome to an Ask Mark. All right, let's go ahead and see the first email, and I'll just go down from the top down. And all right, these are, like how they do, like, was it Law and Order, and it's like, and they like tell a story, and then they're like, these are their stories. It's like with all the scam artists in the industry flashing their P&Ls, but have the inability to help anyone else. Other people have found the Newsbeat live room, and here are their stories. Dun dun. All right, here we go. Hey, Mark. It was just Friday that I emailed to share my excitement about having my second ever five-figure week, and boom, here I am today with a five-figure day. You're an animal. You frequently talk about how our results exceed our expectations once we become consistently profitable, and that is most definitely me. Just so we're clear, like I'm going from the top down, so I'm reading the emails from today. This email was written 23 minutes ago, just so we're clear. By the time I started reading it right now, just so we're clear. And what I do is I hide their names just for anonymity, not that they really care, but yeah. You frequently talk about how our results exceed our expectations once we become consistently profitable, and that is most definitely me. It was just 4 months ago when I was in the valley of despair, as the Atomic Habits book put it. Hard to believe I was questioning whether I was ever going to turn a corner in such a short time ago. I was up $11,178 when I left the room to go on a ride today and came back later in the day to give back about $600, which is actually really bothering me. It's so weird the way our minds work. Why I'm so annoyed at losing $600 when I had such an amazing day. I'm starting to think whatever money I might make trading in the afternoon isn't worth the toxicity of sometimes giving back money. In summary, I can't thank you enough for what you've done for me as a guru and mentor. Notice I did not charge this person mentorship fees, just so we're clear. This person got to be mentored, like everyone here, as part of the service without being ripped off for something that fails everyone minus 2% of the people. I feel so grateful, and I've been trying to spend time in chat outside of trading hours, helping members that might be struggling. It feels great to help people that have yet to turn the corner. Sometimes it's just a matter of framing a concept you already covered in a different way, and boom, they get it. P&L of the 3.5 months since I turned the corner is attached, as well as the first 30 minutes of trading today when I made the bulk of my money. You're amazing, brother. Love you. Let's see. So, all right, and I like this part right here. He's basically, just want to point out the person is showing his equity curve right here. And I think this is very important because he started in the room um, back in August 10th, as you could clearly see down here. And it's very clear that the person started losing money as he was here. Then he slowly started making it, and just take a look at his equity curve. You don't see any massive drops. He has an accumulative net return of $79,929.07. I mean, that is incredible. Look at the smooth equity curve. Well, actually, after your day today, it's looking a lot less smooth because it sort of spiked up today. But we'll cut him a little bit of slack on that one. So what he's showing you right now is 30 minutes of trading, how he made over $11,000. And this is not with a lot of money. He did not need a lot of money to do this. We're talking 20 option contract positions, 25 option contract positions. I mean, we're talking, these aren't professional options traders by any sense of the imagination. Ironically, they are making professional money trading options. You just had a five-figure day. Big move in Tesla. And you might be wondering, like, wow, look how we're crushing Tesla here in the service. And obviously, you could see right here, just like all Tesla trades. And I want to point out something here. Look how long he's holding these trades. Did you give? Yeah, look at this. He bought in at 9:31.14 right over here. Here, I'll highlight it for you. Just look at this. And he sold it 35 seconds later for $4,000. A 35-second trade for $4,000. I'll do you one better. He made $3,000 on just this one trade here today, right over here. And this is somebody who's following methodologies that I teach for free. This is somebody who who thinks I mentor him for free, just for being part of the room. Not a scammy type BS service that fluffs you up, teaches you 10,000 things in which few are useful and few can turn you consistently profitable. Keep in mind, this is what the trader is getting. Here's a 21-second trade. How toxic do you think he is? Traders don't, and obviously you made, a lot more. I mean, I just highlighted a little less than $7,000. You made 11,000. So between all the other trades, you even have a solid $1,100 loss here on Roku. I want to point out as well. But I want to mention something about these trades because you see the duration, you're like, how is this possible? Because we do algorithmic analysis. We're doing something that no other room does. We understand how the robots work. This has been my life's work to teach people how to manipulate and take advantage of robots before they actually do it. You won't be faster than the robots on Wall Street. I always use the analogy, if you and a robot had to go to a bar and order the first drink, the robot would win every time. It would just go a million miles an hour, go to the bar, order a drink, it's done. But if you knew where the robot was going before the robot got there, you could beat the robot to the bar and be half tipsy like Boof on a Sunday before the robots even got there. So, point is, going back to something like this here, it's very important to notice that these trades that he made $7,000 on, I mean, to be exact, like 6,985. Let's round it. Let's give him 14 bucks here and call it $7,000. I want you to know that he made this $7,000 in a matter of 21 seconds plus 35, 56 seconds. The total duration of these two trades together, in total, added with each other, is less than a minute, 56 seconds. Just so we're clear. Just so we're clear. And you know what? Why is that important? You might be saying, oh, I'm not that quick. Nonsense. Nonsense, all right? We have 80-year-olds doing it, 85-year-olds doing this strategy in this room. Don't tell me anything about speed. I don't want to hear it. You don't need speed. You just need the right layout that allows you to do it. In my opinion, I can't tell you to buy or sell a security ever. And, of course, as usual, before you take anything I say seriously, I want you to point this out to you. I want you to pause this video, read this in its entirety, and after you do, understand that I only do this for comedy purposes. Really, that's it. I think it's hilarious how somebody is making $7,000 in less than 60 seconds, and I promise you, this is not an uncommon story. And I'm saying this in front of the largest room here at T3, and they know it. This is not an uncommon story. It's not like, wow, that's really unique. Never heard that before. It almost like happens every day here, it feels like, doesn't it? And the beautiful thing about this is, let me tell you the psychological ramifications, because that's very important. You might say, well, who cares if he did it in 60 seconds or 60 minutes? I'd like to be either of those people. You don't care if you make 7 grand in 60 seconds or 60 minutes. He had an $11,000 day and he stopped trading by what time? By 10:01 Eastern Standard. So he stopped trading 31 minutes and 45 seconds into the day after the open. That was the end. So what's the important part about it? It's really just logical, and I'm going to show you why we're the number one room here at T3, of course, but why it's so important psychologically. Imagine this. Imagine this. You buy a stock, the scammy guru, in which I did a complete report and proved psychologically, without a doubt, inevitably, indubitably, why the 2-to-1, 3-to-1, 4-to-1, 5-to-1, 10-to-1 risk reward is a scam. And not that it doesn't work, it just doesn't work for, rounded off to the nearest 5, 100% of the people. Yes, there's a micro percent that works for. Okay. You buy a position, you buy it at 10 bucks. I'm going to make it easy for you to see. And I'm going to prove it to you right now because honestly, I find the word woke hilarious. I laugh when people use that word like I'm woke now. And my, I'm like, really? Were you asleep? Anyway, but here, let's make you woke. Okay. So you buy XYZ at $50. Scammy Guru is like, set stop at 48, or it doesn't even matter if it's 10 cents, by the way. You said stop at $49. You're swinging, whatever. And you have a take profit of $53. And as soon as you see this, you're already doing in your head, I could be right one time and wrong three times and break even because the time I'm right, I'll make $3. And the three times I'm wrong, I'll lose one, two, three, and that will even out. Heck, if I make money 50% of the time and I'm nailing hit rates like this with a risk reward like this, I'll be fine. Heck, if I'm even right 40%. Heck, I'll be fine. Heck, if I'm even right 30%, I will make money with this strategy. Shh, it's so amazing. Everybody needs to do it. Sign up for my crappy service right now before you miss it. But let me ask you from a psychological perspective, ladies and gentlemen, and you answer me. You disagree with me? I can respect that. I have earned a spot to talk because I have been doing this well for a very long time. I'm one of the pioneers of running these trading rooms. That's how I know where everything has gone wrong. Not only that, I've been doing a lot of these things wrong over the past decade and a half. So I get it. Trust me. I'm not coming from a place where everything I do is perfect. Quite the contrary. It's like I have so many battle scars on my body. I know how to not get slashed anymore. Okay, ready? You buy the stock at 50. How are you feeling right now when the stock goes to 49.50? Are you going to hold it? Because your stop is at 49. You're feeling like crap. You see your P&L red. You're sitting there like, oh my God, I'm so stupid. I can't believe I effing did this. I can't believe I followed Scammy Guru into this trade. Oh my God, oh my God. And now they're spitting out 30 other ideas. I can't even stick with all these ideas. There's so many things going on. I don't even know what I do best. I can't figure this out. I'm screwed. And then what happens is the stock goes back to 50. And then the stock goes back. And then after it goes back to 50, you're like, whew, wow. Then it goes to $50.50, and you're like, now you're up 50 cents. And then it even goes to 51, and you're up $1. Oh, Mark, this is where I'm going to trim some. But you weren't trimming some on all the 100 other trades you were doing this when you were hitting stop now. So now all of a sudden, your losses are much bigger than your gains. Yet, Scammy Guru, she was telling you, little princess she is, that you had to hold your winners and let them ride. You've heard that Wall Street adage. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Am I being too blunt for you? Or some of you listening to this and saying this, some people like to be lied to while losing money. If that is you, don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out. That's fine. This is not for you. Live in your little la la land following something that does this. But don't say that somebody didn't, from Wall Street in a guru position like myself, don't say that somebody didn't come out and actually try to inform you of what's going on. Okay? So, one of the most common problems traders run to with these strategies are my losses are much larger than my gains. Well, if you follow my strategy, which I give you for free for being part of the Newsbeat live room, yet it crushes any education done by anyone here, there, and on Wall Street when it comes to turning the majority of the populace consistent. And why do I talk with so much confidence and so much this and so much that? Because what I am saying is true, one. And two, what I am saying does help the majority of people. And three, I can ask a question to my room that other gurus don't have the testicular fortitude or other type of form. I mean, what would happen if they were? I mean, I'm saying it hypothetically, so I guess a girl could do it as well. My point is, really very simply put, my point is, very simply put, losers don't have to be bigger than your gains. if you're doing the right thing. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to cross this out here. I'm going to cross this out here. And I'll just cross out the 1100 loss. And I'll cross out the $2,000-$3,000 plus gains. Fair enough? Look at his wins and losses. Look at him. What's standing out here to the win side? A bunch of wins. 681, 761. These are random crap trades for him, trust me. At this point, after what he did this morning. Look at his losing trades. 486. We got a 277 here. Way more wins than losses. Way more green than red. You tell me. You tell me if your losses have to be bigger than your wins. But ironically, the whole point of this is that your wins should 100% of the time be more than your losses. It'd be impossible. You're doing a 3-to-1 risk reward. When you're right, you make 3. When you're wrong, you lose 1. I'm not saying you're up money. Obviously, 98% of you are following this nonsensical strategy are down money because you saw the guru's P&L, and this was the guru's P&L, and you were like, damn, I got to do that. He's the best. And you fell for that, right? But yet your losers are still larger than your winners. How's that mathematically possible? They said it, they love to show math, and then they'll say at the end of this, for you bet 50-50. Here's where they lie to you. And it's almost impossible because you have to be psychologically solvent the entire time. You know what it's like saying? It's like saying, all right, I want you to just drive your car around the block a few times. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drip poison into your brain every single drop of poison, drop of poison, drop of poison until you crash your car. And then all of a sudden you tilt because you buy one of these stupid things. You double down when you know you shouldn't. How many of you, when you double down, you're like, damn, I shouldn't be doing this right now. I know I shouldn't be doing this, yet you're doing it because you're being shown strategies that are psychologically toxic and poisoning for your mind. These strategies are meant to destroy traders. But you know what? They have a really good effect for the educators out there who sell this crap. Because you're paying money to learn this, ironically. You're paying money to learn what a candlestick is because free stuff on the internet is really hard to find. And that's really important because did you know the education you buy, 98% of people blow out their accounts when they take it? Were you aware of that? Is that a little too honest for you? Is that a little offensive to you? I don't care if you like me or not. I know the gurus in the industry, they all cry tears and they cry to their superiors, I don't like Mark Melnick. Well, believe me, T3 has gotten that already. They're all little babies because I can expose nonsense. I could expose BS. I take a fan and I blow all the smoke away from their smoke and mirrors and I show you what they are. And they're full of shit and they're liars and they're scam artists and they're schemers. And yes, a lot of them do and a lot of them do not make real money. But practically none of them have the ability to help the majority, not none of them have the ability to help a massive group of people around them. All right, if you talk about somebody who took 2 traders under their wings and turned them profitable, maybe. But you start dealing with 1,000, 2,000 people, none of them help. None of them help the masses. Zero. I was one of those zero, by the way. Hi, I'm Mark Melnick. Most of the people around me didn't succeed. The only difference is I didn't hide behind my P&L like a shield and say like this, like, look at my P&L and hold it up to you like this and hide behind it because I didn't have the ability to help people. In fact, I took the P&L and L and I put it up on a pedestal and I allowed it to blind everyone around me. And that didn't work out. For you, for me, I'm doing fine. For you, it didn't work out. So I've developed a unique system that is not shown anywhere on Wall Street because unlike the education that you probably have taken today, it was stolen from someone else and rebranded and renamed and had a couple things added and a couple things taken away. And they branded it and brandished it as new and sold it to you for hundreds or thousands of dollars. That's what happened to you. Fact. But what I do is unique to the industry. I do not believe on letting your winners run. I do not believe in anything but cutting your losers short. If you cut your losers short, you have to cut your winners short. If you let your losers run, you have to let your winners run. And if you don't do those things, you are losing more than you're making, period. That's an accurate generalization, of course. And that's the problem with Wall Street. And that's the problem of what you got sucked into. So, going back, when I do see emails like this, when I do see emails going in like this right now, I stop and I say to myself, wow, that is quite amazing. That is quite amazing. Because this person was one of those failing traders when he first started here, was able, this is, by the way, lifetime. He didn't cherry pick anything. This is a lifetime show of his account. And he showed how you can be consistently profitable using our methodologies. So congratulations on your first five-figure day. I would tell you I wish more to come, but we both know that doesn't even matter. You know, you're making gangster money right now, bro. Making gangster money. Hi, Mark. I screwed up again in the morning. See, I told you we would get somebody struggling with an email. You thought it was just all good, right? I screwed up again in the morning and had my seventh red day in a row. This is a Newsbeat Live member. Got this email about an hour ago. On October 26th, my account was at $1,950. It's now leaked at $1,337. Being consistent adds up. I traded badly today. Partly, it was undoubtedly because I'm making changes to the way I trade, and inexperience and enthusiasm cause me to be less focused. I'm now exiting trades basically always with a market order, whereas previously I always tried to first exit with a limit order. That's a very interesting way of putting it. Now, I don't mind doing what you need to do, whatever you need to do. I can't legally tell you to limit our market out, of course, nor would I. I mean, this is just honestly comedy hour, right? I will tell you right now, exiting with a limit order. You know, a lot of times what I do is when I try to exit with a limit order, I'll buy a stock, whatever. Let's say I mark it in, which is the most common way I would enter positions. I would mark it into a stock and then I'll throw a limit order out. But what I'll do is I'll be ready to mark it out with two buttons. One button cancels, the other button markets out. So I set myself up after my limit orders there. You know, it's almost like an if then situation, like how they do computer coding. Like, if I get filled, I don't really give a insert colorful word here. If I don't get filled by a certain amount of time, then cancel, click one button to mark it out. If you could do that, I don't really care what platform you're using. But that to me is the quickest way to do it. Unless you literally have a hotkey that will cancel and mark it out simultaneously, that's fine. And again, there are ways to do this. I always say this and I use this analogy because it's true. We could land a rover on Mars, take color pictures, and send it back to the US, test the soil, drive around the planet, and report back to Earth. There is a way to cancel and mark it out with one or two buttons, trust me. So I'm not saying that's what you should do. I'm just telling you what I do. Sometimes. Often too stubbornly, especially when there are wide spreads. I'm also from now on watching the level 2 of the stock instead of the prints of the chart. Good. Level 2, in my opinion, is the best thing to watch if you're looking at the charts. See, the trick is with the charts. Like, for example, if you're doing a Mark 1 strategy, and a lot of us were focused in on Tesla today, obviously. And if you don't know what this strategy is, guys, don't worry. We will show you, you know. By the way, if you're watching this right now, your final destination is always the Newsbeat live room. After you get scammed and thrown around too many times, like some people, you'll just somehow end up here. It always happens. That's why we have the largest room here because we basically pick up everything. where others fail. But right over here is a Mark 1 strategy to buy on this 1 minute candle here. So what I'll do here is like as this candle's going down, right? So let's say this is today in Tesla, and this was a real situation for me. I'm not going to explain what a Mark 1 is to you guys on YouTube and Facebook, but just try to follow along, and we do show you this strategy for free. So right over here, you have 513.91. Considering you're part of the room, of course. So honestly, if you want thousands of dollars worth of education, like sign up for like a $49 free trial, take it and leave if you don't want to stay. Like that would be my advice to you. Then you get education, which will blow the water out of anything that anybody has ever scam sold you ever. Um, my 2 cents, right? So right over here, like after this bar closed, after I saw this bar pulling down, I looked at the chart before the bar was ready to close, like 10 seconds before. So this is the bar from 9:35 to 9:36. So at 9:36 a.m. this bar closed. So literally, what happened here is at 9:35 and 50 seconds, 10 seconds before this bar closed, I looked at the chart, my brother, and I saw 513.91, the high. Then I waited for the next 1 minute candle. This is a 1 minute chart for those watching on Tesla today. And then I saw this happening and going up here. And 10 seconds before this bar closed, I noticed this. So this went from 9:36 to 9:37. And this is going to help you guys in the room. So at 9:36.50, 10 seconds before the bar closed, I looked at the high of the bar and then went back to the level two. I know this video for some of you guys in the room is going to be game changing for you. How many of you are having an aha moment right now when to switch between the charts and the actual level two? I should have had this conversation a while ago. It took this email to get me here. I know you guys are like, my mind is a little blown. So right over here, on the next bar, it obviously triggered on the Mark 1. And again, we do give this strategy for free for Newsbeat Live members. We don't charge you thousands of dollars for nonsense. For nonsense. You get the best education here, period. So right over here, when this candlestick opens up at 512.40, which is the opening, here, I'll move my head down so you, I don't know if you want to look at the top left, take my word for it. This candlestick opens here at 512.40. I already know that 512.62 is the level, so I'm already ready to buy utilizing a front run strategy. What happens? Stock shoots up between 937 and 938. I hit a home run right away. It's the first thing I do. I hit a home run. Crush it. I don't even remember, but I guarantee you from the last email, that was one of his trades. This trade here that he made the $3,000 on. I'll pretty much, I'll bet on it that it was this candlestick right here that paid him in seconds. So yeah, like I already knew what was going to happen in seconds. And when you're sitting there holding a stock for such a short amount of time, you're not suffering psychological toxicity. You're not sitting there watching your P&L go up and down and up and down and up and down. It wears on you. You're a human being, as much as you maybe wish you weren't. That's why they have machine traders. I'm telling you how I do it as a human. Don't you love people with the nickname like, "Oh, he's a robot," or "he's a machine," and it's like that's not the person you want to be. What are you, crazy? Run away from that person. Scam artist in the making. Like, he's a robot, so you mean I can't do that? You want to follow somebody who has human instincts. And this was the human instincts to buy it before it triggered through the prior bar, make your money, done. Tesla, tons of volume, all-time highs today, easy money. Now, of course, you could look back and say he could have held here, watch his money go up and down and up and down and then up way higher, and he probably would have made 20, maybe $15,000 had he decided to hold that position for another 8, 9 minutes. And yes, there are people here who do that. I'm just showing you another way. So that is what I do there. I hope that helped you with this point here. Today I wanted to trade Tesla, but at first Roku made a stronger first bar. I saw Tesla then also setting up, but I decided to focus on Roku so that I wouldn't risk missing both while switching. Of course, I chose wrong. Um, sure, I see what you liked in Roku this morning. Like, it looked really strong on the first minute bar. I know this was the information he had when he was making the decision right here. He saw the gap up, it was on the list. Tesla and Roku were the two top names on our list this morning. If you're in the room, if you're watching on YouTube and Facebook, probably didn't see that. That's okay. I'm just simply explaining it to you. So that's pretty much what happened here, okay? Just so we're clear. And yeah, so looking over here, I could see why you chose Roku, but again, I want to just point out, and I'm curious about this one. I was very adamant on saying I don't like Roku's fills as of recently. I really like Tesla as of recently. You have to remember, before every analyst started getting their, panties in a knot tie, right over here on November 16th, we put a $600 target on Tesla and said it was going to break all-time highs. We did it on the night right here of November 16th, when Tesla looked like this. Since we're being honest about it, this is what Tesla looked like. Forget about all my lines and whatever. This is the candlestick of what Tesla looked like over here. When I did a video saying it's going to $600, explaining about its addition into the Dow. What happened after? That's what happened after. So yes, a lot of us have been making a lot of money on Tesla because we've derived conviction for what we do. We're not, again, one of those scam services where we'll just, do a scam or a scan of 20 names and say, here are the names that I like, and show you a bunch of bull and bear flags with being above and below moving average. Any imbecile with 17 brain cells can do that. Most people will not be consistent. Some people make some money, they'll think they're onto something, then they'll have a bad month, and then a good month, and a bad month, and they'll have no idea what's happening. They'll be stuck in the 43-57 paradigm, as I say, where you're right between 43 and 57% of the time, and you have no idea what to do. That's what happens to people like that, period. As an accurate generalization. Some people know, 2% of you. So I disagree with you wanting to focus on Roku first. I agree it looked better on the first minute, but Tesla ran up a little late because Tesla was looking, believe it or not, this bar looks just as good as Roku's, but it was looking kind of uglier first, while Roku was looking better. So I feel what you're saying. I just literally went in and typed in Tesla. And based on my layout, if I type in Tesla, it'll just pull up the right option, date, everything for me immediately. So I actually was the person who went from Roku to Tesla. I wonder how many of you guys in the room did that today. Of course, I chose wrong. I front ran it and it never triggered. I bought it when the second bar opened and I saw green, but it only went up 3 cents before plummeting. LOL. I probably sold too late because I got confused of the price while switching between the level 2 and the chart when it triggered. I hope I addressed that with the point above. In Roku chart reset Mark 1 at 9:33, I simply bought too late and I got filled while it was already running up. I don't understand. So this is something, you need to change. If you say you bought too late, this is the whole point of the front run strategy we show you and teach you. I simply bought too late and got filled while it was already running up. So you're going to get a crap fill. And I managed to take a loss while marketing out. I was not entirely happy with the fill. Yeah, if you buy in after it triggers, you'll never be happy with your fill, whether it works or not. With the trades, I added the hit rate of my strategies in October and November. It's not pretty. See, so I don't just sit here and show you good emails or traders with problems in which we tried to help and address. And I'm glad you guys are watching it because it really gives me an ability to show you, what's going on, what's good, what's not good, how I actually try to help people who are struggling. So yes, this is very important. This is why I take the long time with these emails. Does your guru do that when you're struggling? And of course, your answer is going to be not unless I pay him thousands of dollars or more. My average winning trade in that's if at all. My average winning trade in November lasted 18.43 seconds, while my average losing trade was 25.12 seconds. I'm a bit surprised that the difference isn't bigger than that. All right, so you're basically in a situation where, 6.5 second differential between your winning and your losing trades. It's only slightly longer. And I can actually respect this point here. My thing is right now and you attach some of your trades, my brother. Hold on, let's see. Let me just pull it up. All right, let's see. Nope, that was the. All right, here we go. All right. So you did a one and done and a chart reset Mark one, but you stuck with Roku and you lost $63 today. $63.36 is what you lost today. I'm just going to highlight this for people watching here so they could get a good view, and I'll be able to explain to them as well what you're going through. It's a very hard time. I feel you, and I'm trying to figure out ways. Just keep in mind, I legally don't tell you to buy or sell securities, um, but I am going to do my best here. Okay. So here's his issue. So, and this again is a Newsbeat live member, just straight up. So on top he has, I don't know why you put 211, 311, 411. I don't understand what that is. But June total, July total, October total. All right, but anyway, here were his, I don't understand what's on top, but that's okay. Here, bottom line, were his last trading days. Here was his last trading day. So he's literally on his seventh red day in a row. And right now, I understand exactly what you're feeling. It's his seventh red day in a row. And he's not feeling too good right now, obviously. Who can? And, again, I know I go from a trader from the last email making 11,000 to a trader who is down what might seem insignificant to some people, but I promise you that there's nothing insignificant about this. This is a trader who's trying to turn the track, build confidence, and he's just unable to do it. Doesn't matter if these losses were 10% as large. It doesn't matter if he's losing $1 every single day. He's going to work every day to lose money. That sort of psychological pain and toxicity is very hard to deal with, and I feel for you. Here, here are my thoughts. You're pointing out all the strategies here. So it's really hard to know what you do best. However, when you actually use the word front run, which is what FR stands for, of course, when you actually use the word front run, you're 1 for 1. Look at that. I'm sorry, you're not 1 for 1. You're 1 for 2 because you have one win and one loss here. I could see the win-loss column up there. However, this was the trade that you made money on. So my thoughts are, you know, on the other names, are you really front running them? Are you really front running them? I would also like to know if you could pull up a little more info. I want to actually have, it's for you, but I'm telling you to do it for me so you could do it for yourself. I want to know what names you made and lost money on. I think that's going to be very good for your psychology to give you an idea of where you make and where you lose. I will tell you, there was a day last week, and I know psychologically I'm coming from a different spot because I make money like every day as a generalization. But like, there was a day last week where I lost like, what was it like? Do you guys remember? I don't even remember. It was like $3,000 on a Roku trade, a quick Roku scalp. It was like 2,500, 2,700. I took a sizable loss in Roku, and Roku has just been a real turnoff for me lately. It's like, you know, Yeah, I mean, I want to make light of it, but I want you to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to, form a neurological connection in your head that you can relate with. It was disappointing, like sitting down on your couch and turning on your television and seeing like Real Housewives of Orange County come up on your screen. You're just like, oh God, what am I doing? And you just like try to turn off your TV as much as possible. And then you realize, just as you hit the power on your television, the batteries died and your TV is now on. And you're seeing two women, both married to multimillionaire husbands, arguing because one of the women did not attend the other woman's lunch party and they're pissed. You start sweating profusely. You don't know what to do. Your TV is plugged into the back of the wall with your TV covering it. You can't get there in time. The show is continuing. They almost look like they're going to get into a fight, and they look really mad. Why didn't that woman go to that one's luncheon party? You take your remote, and with the only thing you know how to do, you hurl it as fast as you can at your television set, hoping that your screen will break and the Real Housewives of Orange County will turn off. But you miss. Instead, your remote just hits against the wall to the side of your television, shattering it. At that point, you run head first, trying to smash your entire face and body into the television to break it. But you slip on one of your kids' toys because your wife told you to clean up the living room and you didn't, and you slipped on one of their toys. Now you're crawling towards the TV. All right, you get the point. I think front running is the way for you to go. Why? That's a generalization because it's the way for most people to go. Now, I can't say 100% that's going to work for you. But even just looking in your email, just the psychology of you're um, where you're suffering. You say right here, of course I chose wrong. I front ran and it never triggered. So you knew that front running, something inside you is telling you that you should be doing that. And then right over here, you failed to front run because you're saying I simply bought too late and got filled while it was already running up. And front running, by the way, is a strategy we invented on how to take advantage of the algos, just so we're clear. So he's trying these strategies and he's having a hard time. I would also be curious if Roku is just not a good name for you. Now, don't get me wrong. Roku has not been kind to me. But from the last email, that dude who had the $11,000 day scored a couple grand in a Roku trade today, or whatever, one and a half, 2 grand, whatever it was in one of his Roku trades. I didn't have that today. I made most of my money in Tesla and I had a wonderful day. But point is, not every name is for every person. See, nobody likes to talk about that. Everybody thinks that everybody's comfortable with the same names. Not everybody's comfortable with Tesla, Roku. Some people like the smaller names. That's why we bring up other names. I'm curious if you have a natural aversion, much like myself. Even though I've made a lot of money in Roku this year, recently I've been giving it back. And by recently, there was one day where I gave a few grand back. Not a big deal at all, but I do want to mention it. And that's what I think happened. I personally believe if you came out and I can't legally tell you what to do, and you just said, Mark, I'm looking at these two names. What should I do? I think you would have a good idea. So you should already know that I like Tesla more than Roku. Everybody in the room knows. That's because Tesla tends to give you nice follow through, especially as of recent. That could change in a week from now. I'm just saying in the now environment. Tomorrow would be another one of those environments, potentially. You feel me? I'm sorry about your 7 losing days in a row. From what I am seeing and from what I'm seeing from your P&L and your fills, if you did the same front run in a Tesla today, I think you would have been happy with your day. Again, I can't legally tell you what to buy or sell, nor would I, but that is my opinion. Focus on front running. You're taking small size. Be more comfortable front running maybe a little earlier. Like, I don't know exactly what happened here when you say, I simply bought too late. I'm thinking it almost popped too quickly for you. I don't want that to happen to you. Maybe, and not everyone has to do this, maybe you need to just front run just slightly earlier. Be ready to take a loss if you're wrong. And again, that's what I would do for myself if I was in this situation. I'm not legally telling you what to do, of course. Thank you for the email. All right. Trading good and bad. is the title of this next email. Good evening, Mark. Happy Thanksgiving week. Hope you enjoy a good holiday with family. Remember the things you are thankful for. Thank you. I had a great day of trading. I had a great day trading. Made a quick $865 and was done trading by 10 p.m. I think he means a.m. All Tesla trades with one square thrown in there for diversity's sakes. My brother, this is not the United Nations. We don't need diversity. So, LOL, I'm glad you made money. LOL, LOL. Don't do this shit again if that's not what you need to do. Okay, I'll move on. Things haven't been all good though. I hit a rough patch for a while. And I'm just now getting over it. Back before September 11th, I had more than tripled my account. I felt I couldn't lose. Then I made a huge mistake. I was doing a Mark 1 in Tesla. I was only trying to buy one contract of Tesla, but clicked wrong and got 10 contracts. God, I can't stand these errors. They're so that happened today with Addy, our boy. But God, it's so like I did that. I did that recently. I think I was tiered for like 100,000 when I was supposed to buy 10,000 shares. I'm just gonna leave it like that. Moving on. Then I made a huge mistake. I was doing a Mark 1 in Tesla. I was only trying to buy one contract, but click wrong got 10. I didn't notice and I only sold one of them. So not only did he accidentally buy 10, he sold one not noticing he bought 10. My account had been messing up that day, showing I was still in positions when I already sold, so I didn't think anything about it when my P&L kept moving. I had to leave and I walked away from the computer. When I came back later in the afternoon, my calls at Tanks were only worth $300 down from 9,000. I was so hurt. I then made the stupid mistake of trying to make it back the next week in a Zoom trade and lost another 4 grand. So that's 12.7K, almost a little less than $13,000 off of a keyboard error that caused psychological toxicity after you tripled your account. And I'll tell you psychologically where this trader is at right now. Psychologically, this trader knows he can do it. He feels it in his bones. He tripled his account, so the results are in his face. It's not a delusion. And then a keyboard error comes in. He loses 8,700, his $9,000 calls. As he said here, we're down to 300. And then he did a stupid Zoom trade, which, by the way, from the last email, Zoom's also a very hard name like Roku for me to trade, just adding that in, even though I do trade both. Zoom trade lost another 4K. So he tripled his account. He knows how to trade. He's going to be, in my opinion, right? What is that worth, right? In my opinion, I think he'll be one of the majority of the Newsbeat live room, a consistently profitable trader. I think that's where he's headed. It's very annoying to do that. I'm sure he may, obviously, if you haven't done this already, take a sticky note, write it a sticky note on the computer and make sure you have 0 positions before walking away. I know Captain Hindsight telling you that now, but if you don't do that, there's no lesson learned because you didn't make a mistake. I I feel for you so much right now. I understand, but you have to do something so that doesn't happen again to you, my brother. You have to do that so you know what to do to make sure that this nonsense never occurs again. I had cut my account in half in a week while I was still up in the account 100% overall. It really sucked, and I learned why you don't want to make 200% and lose 100% even if you're up in the end. That's why all these strategies psychologically suck, where you make one and, anyway. I choose to start over. I took 2 weeks off and then I came back and only traded one contract at a time to force myself to be smart and try not to make it all at once. I mean, the silver lining here is you still doubled your account. I know it feels like crap. I will tell you, you can do this. Don't let that drag you down. Easier said than done by me. I'm not stupid, but this is something that you got. If you put that sticky note by your computer, you don't understand what I am trying to do for you. You need to put that effing sticky note by your computer because otherwise you cannot, in your mind, psychologically justify that loss. Do you get that? By doing that, you could say the only reason that little stupid, crappy sticky note is there telling me to look at my positions is because it's happening. It helped me. Now you're taking the bad and you're putting a silver lining around it and you're saying that it helped you. Otherwise, you're not going to get over it. You have to have something to show for that loss. I know it sucked. I know it was your responsibility, and I know you didn't intentionally do something wrong, and I know you psychologically tilted afterwards. I wish you told me this earlier. I would have told you that. Not to be Captain Hindsight, I probably would have saved you $4,000 on Zoom. I wouldn't have been able to do anything for you with the initial F up right here, but this part, I would have been able to tell you that. That's why it's very important that you reach out to me. You know how often I'm available for my members? 7 days a week on average. I answer these things 7 days a week. Saturday morning, I'm drinking my coffee in the morning in front of you guys, allowing you guys to answer any questions. That's what a real guru does for his room. Not a scumbag who's making out with his boyfriend on the beach, while his girlfriend is doing his nails by the water. You have to be there for people. You have to put the people around you that pay you in front. They have to be your number one priority. And when I see this, I feel the pain. That's why I'm getting all worked up now. I'm effing pissed about this loss. I feel you, and I need you to grow from this. That's it. I need you to grow from this error. Do you think any of the other gurus get this mad when you lose money? Do you think I really care about these people, or do you think this is all a show, ladies and gentlemen? What do you think? I choose to start over. Took 2 weeks off, one contract at a time, trying to not make it all back at once. Right. The whole point is to not make it all back at once. The point is, are you trading intelligently? Yes or no? I was really busy at my job coaching volleyball. In college was also taking a lot of mental focus during that time. So I chose to not trade some days to protect myself from forcing things. Number one thing you're doing is writing this email right now. You should have done it earlier. That's that's to me your number one screw up because you have a support system around you. The best support system in the entire industry, bar none. There's no one who gets 1% as far as we do when it comes to a support system. So you simply can't. We put in everything every day. How do you do better than that? What are you going to do? Slow the Earth's rotation and revolution and create more days of the week? Even with that, I still didn't. That's what's pissing me off right now. Even with that, I still didn't have a winning week until last week of October, almost 6 losing weeks. Now that volleyball season is over, I'm back to focusing on trading. I've gotten my batting average back up over 80%. So you're batting over 80% before. If you're watching this, that's very common for Newsbeat Live members that we do bat very high in the last 30 days. So I'm feeling good, going to the size I was at before I cut my account in half. I haven't made back everything I lost back yet. I'm still down 8K, so it's slowly coming back, but I'm not focusing on that. Instead, it's about making smart trades. Exactly. It's about being smart every trade. Exactly what we're saying here. Knowing what I do best and sticking to it. Exactly. Exactly. Watching these ask marks are super helpful, and I plan on being in them more often now that I have time. The moral, and thank you, and how nice of you to share a moral of the story off of your losses and pain. That's a mensch. The moral of the story is be smart. Don't take your trading for granted. You could lose it all if you don't respect the market and your strategies. Stay focused and stay smart. If you're toxic, don't trade. Take time off or size down and try to get small wins. Log off and protect your wins if you need to. This room has been really helpful getting me back in the saddle. I don't have my trades to send you right now, but I will next time, and I will be sending more emails, good and bad, in the future. Thank you for everything you do. Thank you for reaching out and sharing an email like that. I'm happy your account's up 100%, so it's easier to bounce back from a loss like that. And I know it doesn't feel good. You need to have something that wasn't there before, even if you are not gonna, God bless you, make this mistake again. You need something in place to ensure you get to that next level. Thank you for everything you do. Next email. Hi, Mark. Just want to show your viewers a nice one and done in Mark 1. I entered at 9:30:104. Thanks for the great conviction name today and every day. Love you. I didn't get any gift card in the mail. I didn't get any wine. And Melnick does not put out on the first date. Gotta wine me and dine me and buy me expensive things. Just so we're clear. And he went ahead and he showed his day. Well, shit, man. What the F did you do? What'd you make? 20 grand? Holy shit. Um, wow. Oh, look, 11 second trade, $5,400. Less than a minute trade, I'm assuming here, like 10, 20 seconds, $8,000. 12-second trade, $1,500. 16-second trade, $1,200. I'll ignore the smaller few thousand you made. This is quick math. This is a 20 grand day. More, right? More. I mean, wow. Sick hit rate, bro. Wow, look at this trader's losers compared to their winners. Scammy, the fake guru artist who hangs out with her husband, always told me that a 5-to-1 risk reward means that your winners are bigger than your losers. Yet, this is what it really looks like when your winners are bigger than your losers. That's $18,000 in the first couple minutes. He didn't need a ton of money to do this. He was going for the 5-10 calls. He didn't need a ton of money. And it was a Monday. If he did this on another day, it would have been a lot cheaper. It was most expensive today. Look at his losers. Let's highlight those. 29, 119, 149, 29, 29, 59, 29, 29, 59, 29, 29. That's all of them. Let's look at his winners using our methodologies. 8,800, 500, 300, 2,900, 2,500, 1,100, 1,500. That's what it looks like. Wow, bro. That's how I feel when I trade. Traders are not supposed to lose more than what they win. If you're doing that, you're using a false methodology, you're doing it incorrectly, you're probably doing something psychologically toxic. Moving on, thank you for flashing yourself. If I had a stack of dollar bills, I'd throw them at you right now. But I think that's the last thing you need, in all fairness. Okay. I think I tilted, so here we have a hard email now. I'm assuming. I haven't read this. Hey Mark, hope you're well. I'm very upset with myself today. I was up a little over $400 by 10:15, which given where I am is very acceptable. Then I had a series of did not trigger type losses, including a $200 loss on Roku. That tagged people today, some people. Mark 5 where I held on instead of taking another loss, resulting in being down 75% of my P&L by 11. I could still have walked away, but didn't I didn't to try and get back to where I was. I made a little back and I stepped away for a lunch break. Then near the close, I saw the strength in Tesla, but it was volatile. I took a couple of trades which worked. At 329, I entered another trade looking for high a day breakout, and again I did an exit as it went against me till 23 minutes later for another biggish loss. What is unforgivable is that it was the second time today. I don't even think this last trade was a real strategy, just me trying to get my day back. I guess you would call that a tilt. My P&L today, $7. I know better and thought I was past this behavior. I know that year to date, 73% of my profits have been before 12 and 59% before 11 a.m. I know for the C strategies, which are the Newsbeat simple, easy, and effective strategies, which work, which all the P&Ls you're seeing are based off these strategies. I know for the C strategies we employ, writing out the pullbacks is gambling. Amen. I am making some hard rules and will print and paste on my desk. You see, this is what I was saying on the gentleman's last email. He is taking a physical action because he knows he effed up. He's printing out hard rules and he's pasting it on his desk. That's what I told you to do with the little, sticky note on your computer. You could print it out and put it on your desk just like this guy. I just want something new to happen to make you grow because otherwise you're not going to grow. This is the psychological importance. This guy gets it. I don't even know how much I'm going to be able to tell this guy, but I'll continue reading. Stop trading buy. Here are his rules. He even shared them with us. Stop trading buy or before noon. Stop trading when up by $500. Only exception is if the market is exceptionally favorable, long or short. Trades are working and rule 1 hasn't triggered. Stop trading if I have 4 losses in a row, no matter how big or small. Stop trading if I make a single major error, which are reflective of my mental state not being optimal for trading. You know what I have to say to that line? That's what I have to say to that line. Not cutting losses ASAP. Any trade that breaks the reason for entering it if I chase a stock due to FOMO, fear of missing out, etc. Anything I should add? Below is my trade log for today, most recent on bottom, to hold, and pray trades in yellow. Let's see what, excuse me. Let's see what you sent me here. All right. So your pray and hold trades right here were a 191 loss here. Took a 212.52 loss. And I'll say, and you look how he lists all the strategies he does. Mark 1, Mark 5, these are our strategies. Um, and he came out ahead of $7. I'll say, for a day that you effed up so often, to come out $7 ahead is a blessing. I don't have anything to add of what you should do. I think what you're doing, even one of these steps, are beautiful for your growth. I like the hard rules that you're going to print and paste on your desk. My advice, the only thing I would add to it is make sure you read it every day. Because if you read it every day, even I know you're probably winning more than you're making, but even when you lose, you're going to feel okay with it if you follow the rules. And this is going to be one of the key things for your future success, in my opinion. Great work, great lesson. Keep up the good work. All right, here's from a trader who was struggling recently. Progress and somewhat confused is the title of the email. Oh boy. Hold on. Wife's gonna kill me. So I only have time for one last email, guys. I love you, but the emails I didn't get to today, I'm gonna answer tomorrow, I promise, all right? So, I do want to give a small recap, so I'll just do one last email. It says somewhat confused. Mark, hi Mark. It's exactly like you said. Results start overwhelming expectations. So what I did was I did a little slide, you know, unlike Scammy Guru, who doesn't help people. I basically talked about here being stuck in the twilight zone where people, when you're in this, and the red is your results and the greens are your expectations, when your results are underneath your expectations based on time and correct efforts, which we actually teach here. Rooms do not teach correct efforts, they teach wrong efforts, and you never get to where you need to go. You'll think training is not for me. You'll think I can't do this. I'm doing everything I'm told and not achieving the results I want. A lot of traders are stuck in here. And then what happens is the results explode through the expectations. It's exactly like you said. Results start overwhelming expectations. Today was my biggest day of the year, plus 3,100, and way past best month of the year, up 15,000 currently. Brother, and in case you don't know who this gentleman is, This is a gentleman who opened up a Baskin Robbins inside an airport in which he had to close down due to COVID. He was packing up his machinery, heartbroken. This virus destroyed this man's life, but he needs to make trading work, and he's doing the right things. And being in the Newsbeat live room is going to help him do that, obviously, here. So this email is really emotional to me. Think about it. You open up an ice cream store in an airport where you have kids and people who are nervous and scared wherever they have to go. God forbid they have to fly and see a loved one. Maybe they're nervous to go on an airplane. And here's this dude selling ice cream to these people to make them happy. And he had to shut down because of COVID. Always think about it like that. Doing everything you have instructed and made a lot of serious physical and mental changes. Eating better, wearing the wellness bracelet. Wellness bracelet is we talk about science and technology and things that you could do to become a better trader. I'm not going to go through it ad nauseum right now, but join the Newsbeat live room and ask, and we'll show you exactly what this is. Staying away from toxic stocks. This goes to the gentleman trading Roku. Myself being one of those gentlemen, just know what you're getting into. It is a toxic stock. Stopping at 9 a.m. Mountain Time, which is 11 a.m. Eastern Standard. Withdraw gains every $5,000 so I don't get risky. Being more present with my family, enjoying life outside of trading. That's what I told you to do. Yep. Working on my emotion. And you know what's funny? A lot of gurus who don't have, I find it funny, the gurus who don't have like kids or a family to take care of, they don't get it. They don't get like the reality of a trader trying to make it. They're delusional. They're delusional. They're like, yeah, I could trade all day, and I'm all like hyped up on these upper drugs, and it's like, and they're like that, but they don't know what it's like after the day is over. They don't know what it's like to say, okay, I have to take care of my kids now. My kid's crying. What am I doing with my kids in school? They don't get it, so they don't understand why they should ever stop working. Do you understand that? They don't get it. As you're saying, son of Mark, they're cracked out on trading. That's right. So, yes, people who don't have families don't understand, are not qualified, in my opinion, to help other traders because most traders are people trying to support their families as a vast majority. The vast majority of traders are trying to support their family. People who don't have these families don't understand. People who have families, even if they're directly supporting them now or not, they do understand. That's the difference. Be careful of gurus who don't have children. Be careful. Run. Hint. Me. Run from me when I didn't have kids over the past 7 years because I was failing 98% of the, maybe not that bad. It was over 90% of the people would not re up with me after a year as of 6, 7 years ago. So I was that person that you should have run away from too when I didn't have kids. Now that I have kids, I understand it. I grow as a guru. I'm able to help more people. What a coincidence. Thanking God for all the blessings I do have despite a couple of setbacks. My family's year has been amazing. The location I closed in the airport has actually been a godsend so I could spend more time with my family and trading and reduce a ton of stress. So he had to close down his Baskin Robbins in the airport. And I remember at the time when you told me the email when you were packing all your equipment, your ice cream equipment, all the heavy machinery to take it out of the airport, how heartbroken that whole scenario must have been. And here you are looking at that scenario back right now, and you're calling it a godsend. That is growth. That is where you were supposed to go from there. That was how you take a hard situation and you look back and you're thankful for it. God bless you, man. If this isn't inspirational, I don't know what is anymore. Most important, this quote is where I'm at with the past and my negative trading history and negative decisions I made in the past that caused toxicity. Don't use today's wisdom as a weapon against yesterday's decision. I like that. Or don't judge yesterday's decision with today's wisdom. Love it. I'm going to post that in the Newsbeat live room. You guys can screenshot this if you're watching online. The fear of screwing up or losing more money has changed into wise trading boundaries to sell quickly for a gain or loss. My wife and family have been very supportive. My wife keeps checking in with me to make sure I don't get back on after I got off at or before 9 a.m. So that's 11 a.m. Eastern because he's Mountain. I still have 2 out of 7 kids at home. My God, brother, did you and your wife get busy? Holy moly. You have 7 kids? Are you an Orthodox Jewish family? Like, oh my God. Wow. I know. Drum roll there. Um, 6 are girls, and I've been telling all of them that women make better traders. You already know, my brother, keeping it real with them, keeping it real with your children. My 13-year-old, who is very mature, intelligent, and a straight A student, wants to start trading to buy herself a $1,500 German Shepherd from a breeder. I love this girl. She wants to buy a dog, so she wants to start trading to afford an expensive dog because she likes that breed. This is incredible. Kelly's like, I'm Irish Catholic, LOL, 1 out of 10. I let her hear how several traders have kids that trade. I was thinking of setting her up with a small account, teach her the ropes a little, and let her learn. I want to teach her to fish. What do you think? Newsbeat Live Room takes second generation Newsbeat Live family members. There are a lot of people in this room who send their kids here, and from what I hear, they've been phenomenally successful, more successful than the parents generally. And yes, women are better traders than men on average. 100 women, 100 men, throw them in trading. The women will get further on average. My last question is about trading after 9 a.m., which is 11 a.m. Eastern Standard. Most of the time, I make all or most of my day in the first 15 minutes of trading. You just gave yourself your answer, in my opinion, but I'm going to continue reading. I want to keep going, but stop as not to lose my profit. I enjoy trading, but not more than keeping my gains. I've learned. I see how the market or Tesla keeps going higher without me, FOMO, and wonder if I should learn how to keep going longer without giving it all or some back. How do I know I'm ready for the next step in longer term trading? This is an excellent question. I'm going to do it after I finish your email since this is the end of it and I can't scroll down. I cannot explain the gratitude I have for you and what you do for all of us in this room. You are truly one of the blessings that came into my life this year. Thank you for being you. Um, Thank you for such an emotional email because I know what you're going through. I know what you're going through. I know everything that you're going through. I understand everything that you're going through. And it's hard and it's tough. And you're asking, how do you know when you're ready for the next step in longer trading? If you have to ask the question, here's the answer. If you have to ask the question, you're not ready. It's a natural succession. When people are like, oh, should I go to the next level? Should I tear up? When you think like that, you're not really ready. It's a natural thing. Here's my point. You're up 15,000 for the month. The month's not even over. You had your best day of the year. How do we change this? How do I bring this to the next level? How about you just keep doing whatever you need to do? And again, I can't tell you what to do. And see where it takes you. And see where that takes you. Maybe you'll get far. I mean, I can't leave a booth mail hanging. Like, there's some things I can do. There's some things I can do. There are 2 things I cannot do. 2 things I cannot do. One is start a rotation with disgusting women who are baddies. And 2, it's ignoring a booth mail. 2 things I'm just unable to do. So, my wife beats the living crap out of me tonight. I deserved it. All right, moving on. Hello, Mark. So, I am up a lot of dollars today, my second best day ever. I may be an ungrateful piece of shit. I mean, pause. But I was very angry with rage throwing inanimate objects. Here's where it all started. I opted for a Nikola Mark 1 over a Tesla Mini Mark 1 reset at 9:45 during the entire duration of the trade. Had something poking me, telling me, hey, F this Nikola, take the Tesla. I did not listen. It was super toxic when I saw Tesla rip there without me, thinking that trade could have been my day right there, especially the fact that you took that trade. What the expletive was I thinking? My idea is better than Mark's? It might be for you, laughing my ass off. I'm an idiot, or Lamau. I was having my second ever 5 figure day, and I remember how toxic I used to feel when I first started having 4 figure days. And I would go from up 1200 to up 900, and it would hurt me so much more psychologically versus if I was up 1800 and ended up the day 1050. Anyway, I started taking absolute toxic, pointless garbage, FOMO sapien trades, uh, shorting Tesla on the 1 minute chart resets and then following it up by a long off the 5 minute 8 or something stupid and toxic. I realized what I was doing and stopped after giving back about 1,000. Then I would take quasi setups and gave back another grand. Mark, more dollars, more problems. It's like the more money Boof comes about, the more problems Boof sees. No, BBY. I don't want to see you die. I think I'm starting to get disassociated in a way from my P&L. Being up 10,000, I just think off that dollar sitting there. Yeah, I have some nice clothes, but what I wear on a daily basis is bums, asterisks. Who am I going to flex on, my cat? Yeah, I told myself I'd buy something nice for myself at the 100K account level. Want a low-end Rolex, but where am I going to wear it? Exactly. Better off buying Pokemon, right? On my way to pick up some COVID takeout. Anyways, the negativity starts to come from associating my win sitting in a bank account. I can't help I can't feel that dollars, but when I lose 2K, I think, wow, I could have spent that 2K on a trip to Cancun. Wow, I could have paid my rent with that. I need help. Do you have an idea of what kind of toxicity this is, and are there psychological hacks for it? I know you said you should buy something and look at it every morning. Is this what I have to do? Why the F aren't you listening to me? You came in this room losing 3 figures every single day. You had a $1,500 account. Now you're sitting with over 100,000 in months. Like, what the F are you doing? Like, this is what you chose not to listen to? Also, Mark, you mentioned in the morning you were keeping the same size. So, for example, if your size was 50 contracts, did you just do 50 for the first couple trades? I'm not going to log in my account and answer that, but I don't know. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. What happened with me today was I tiered for 50, but I liked the Tesla one and done, but I can't tier normal on that. I have to tier down on a one and done. I took 25 contracts, made 3,000. That's a lot of dollars for me and most people. So I wanted to protect it and tiered for 20 after that. But now I regret not sticking with my normal tier of 50 after that one and done. I mean, there was conviction on Tesla, and I have traded 100 contracts of Zoom before. So what am I scared of? That's because that was stupid of you. This was stupid of you. That's why. Before, so what am I scared of? Why did I let my P&L affect my tier size? Overall, I'm not happy with how I traded. I think I could have done a lot better regardless of my P&L. I mean, you're up $8,500. You could have been up more. You don't like to spend the money. You don't like to see it in the bank. When you lose it, you think about what you could have spent it on, and you have your second best day ever. All right, but I do understand what you're going through. You need to reward yourself a little bit. You need to buy yourself something that makes you happy. I don't care if it costs $5 or 1,000. Maybe just looking at a stupid low-end Rolex will make you happy. By the way, I have a guy in New York if you're interested, and you need to take a flight out and get a good deal on a Rolex, by the way. I could set you up with that connection. But the point is, um, I understand where your toxicity is coming from. I understand why you feel this way. I also understand that there would be a million people who would, you know, kill, a million people that would kill to be in your position right now. To be in your position right now where they can make 10% of this money, 5% of this money. You're growing too quickly. Something bad can happen. My thought is why not just stay right here for a little bit and think about it before sizing up, sizing up, sizing up. Next level, next level, next level. This is not Super Mario Brothers, son. It's not like, oh, I get 1-1. It's like, and then you go to the next level. How about you just chill here for a little bit, just for a little bit? How about you just hang out here for just a little bit? How about you say, why don't I? What? Whoops. What happened? Did you guys, whoa, that was weird. Hmm. Did you guys see the exit to the Newsbeat thing? Did you hear the music or no? There's no music. Okay. Oh, clicked the wrong button. Boof got me so upset here. I'm clicking the wrong buttons. Look, look, just look. Easy. My question is, why not go to 150 or 200 at whatever rate you think you could? I can't tell you what to do, Boof. Do whatever you want. But my question for you is at least answer it. Why wouldn't you go to like 200,000 before you think about tearing up? Question. What was it, 3, 4 months ago? That this account I saw that you're in now had $1,500 in it? Total account value 109,000? Grow, son. Grow a little just chill. And yes, buy yourself something. And stop throwing inanimate objects. I can't tell you what to do with it, but why don't you just chill? Pissed me off too. Okay. Um so I have to go before my wife kills me. I did end it on a booth mail. Now I'm going to have to go throw an inanimate object. Or my wife might throw an animate. My wife is also going to throw an inanimate object. I hope her aim towards my face misses because I'll have a black eye tomorrow morning. With that being said, I want you to think that yes, there are traders who make money who suffer psychological toxicity. From what I have seen, that is the number one problem that we suffer from in our room today. It's not a joke. Yes, they do have the financial means to where they don't have to have the psychological toxicity of how they're going to pay their bills or how they're going to send their kids to school and whatnot and things like that. However, these are real people with real problems, and you always have to address them with care and thought, even if you do get angry at them. So, with that being said, um, I hope you guys enjoyed this Ask Mark show. I know I went on for a while, but I did want to give you a real true taste of what we do here in the Newsbeat live room, what we go through after hours when trading is not around. If you are interested in our services and you're ready to change your life around and you're finally done listening to Wall Street's nonsense, links in the description. And if you don't want to join, I'm cool with that too. I just genuinely hope you enjoyed this show regardless, and I really hope you learned that maybe just one thing today. Because if I could teach you one thing every day, you will be on your way to being a better trader. Happy trading, make money. I'll see you guys next time.